Ladies and gentlemen, button pushers and wrench turners, welcome to another episode of Something's Broken. My name's Tayler Goodyear, and I own TG CNC Service out of Wisconsin. So it's been 2 weeks. I have been on the road almost the entire month. Actually, literally the entire month of June. I've been on the road for jobs and customers and whatnot. I was in 2 weeks in Virginia doing a very big job down there. And then I was just in Minnesota for 2 weeks doing a couple of big jobs up there as well too. Let's get into it. I had an NHX 10,000 that needed like a major PM service done on it. I mean, this thing was so bad. I spent probably 2.5 days just chiseling cast cake out of this fucking machine. I mean, it was caked everywhere, man. It was so bad. Honestly, it's probably one of the worst cast cake machines I've ever had to deal with. Like, it was so fucking bad, man. It sucked. But, man, we got a lot of progress made on it. Got a lot of all the filters, oils swapped, everything, wipers done. The Z-axis wipers were fucking just completely gone. So every time that the Z-axis would move back and forth, it would just shove more chips in cast cake, cast dust, basically in this case, and just pack it in the troughs. And the only way to get to the troughs are underneath the machine, and the customer built this massive balcony that wraps around the entire machine. So yeah, I was basically on my hands and knees for pretty much 5 days, just fucking cleaning, pulling troughs, cleaning troughs, looking for a fucking spindle oil leak that I could not find. I ripped this entire goddamn machine apart, dude, and I could not find the spindle oil leak that the customer told me that they have. So it is what it is. Couldn't find a leak, but still moved forward with the PM process and got everything knocked out. I was very happy with the outcome of it, for sure. We got a lot done on that machine, and I think if they decide to call me back in next year for a PM, I think there's gonna be a lot less cast cake and shit that I have to deal with. As long as they stay up on the wipers, the machine should be very well maintained within the next year, hopefully. I say that, but sometimes customers can't keep up with the PM and the general preventative maintenance of the machine, like cleaning is part of preventative maintenance, man. And this machine was neglected for a while, which it happens. You are running a machine balls to the wall for so long, and that thing needs to reach a certain amount of run time, and you got a bunch of parts that you need off. Like, it just, it gets away from you. And then this is what happens. You call me in, and I spend a lot of fucking time cleaning your machine. So I'm glad they did it. They're glad they did it. The maintenance guys are fucking awesome to work with. Those guys are great up there, man. I love them. I've been going to this customer for about 4 years now. For the OEM that I used to work for, they have one of their machines in there, so that's how I kind of got my foot in the door. And then they got word that I used to work for another OEM, and they had this machine. They're like, yeah, we're not too happy with the service. Can you please come in and work on this machine? Absolutely. No questions asked. I will be there. Just call me and I'll be there. So they call me for that machine now. So they also have a couple other machines from this OEM that they've called me for in the past. So they have no problem calling me up there, even though I'm like 5.5 hours away. They don't care. They know that I'll show up, and I'll do my damnedest to get the machine fixed and back up and running. So I spent a week on that NHX 10,000 on the PM process, finished that, and then I had to go over to the other OEM machine and do a Z-axis ball screw replacement. on this machine. Now this is a T orientation casting, so basically you have x-axis, Z and Y, and they're bolted together in a T. Fuck. So big machine, big machine. It's a 1600 millimeter machine. So that went smooth. Those ball screws are very easy. They are hydraulically stretched, so they're great to do. Honestly, there's no stretching involved. They have spike nuts on the end that you torque to a certain torque spec, and I have a whole formula sheet for that. And yeah, you just swap bearings, swap the screw, put it in, and the hydraulics take care of all the stretching for you. So easy peasy. Customer was thrilled that I was able to get that knocked out, and the OEM was happy that I was able to do that for them as well too. So coming back home, finally coming back home, man, this schedule has just been absolutely insane. My contractor is on a 4-week long PM service contract for a local customer, and then I caught wind that the head of maintenance there put in his 2 weeks. So now we were kind of left with the question of, okay, what happens now? How do we finish off the PM contract, and what's going to go from there? So talking with the head of maintenance, we arranged with the head of the facility. We have a meeting on Monday. They want to talk about extending our presence inside of the facility, and I think more than likely they're going to ask for additional assistance in service, just to maintain what's in there until they can find somebody to replace the guy that's leaving. So, it's pretty standard shit. I mean, PMs and stuff. It's just, it is what it is. Where's my fucking camera? What's going on here? There we go. I don't know what the fuck happened there. But, yeah, pretty standard shit. A lot of PM stuff. These machines have been neglected for a little while, so the PMs are shitty. They suck. My contractor let me know. It fucking sucks. So, gave him a little more incentive to be in there, and thanked him for, willing to be in there and do the shitty job. This is the type of shit that pays the fucking bills, man. So, it is what it is. So, I have a meeting with them on Monday, and then another local customer, they had an electrical short or a surge or something in an electrical cabinet on a machine that my contractor and I kind of rebuilt the electrical cabinet just a little bit. Pretty sure I know what happened. They got some coolant infiltration inside of the electrical cabinet and caused a short. I won't know until I get there, but I'm already having a feeling. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So we'll have to just cross that bridge when we get there and I show up and check. That I'll probably go there after the meeting Monday. Meeting's at 8:30. I'll probably go to that customer after that and check on that Acra grinder, electrical cabinet, and then Tuesday I have a X-axis belt replacement on an old Tornos machine. Old. This customer hasn't called me in a while. They have 4 1990s Tornos machines, and they run the fuck out of them, and they can't really find anybody else for service, and I don't really know shit about Tornos. But I'm kind of like their only hope. Their best hope, I guess. So I've been working on their machines for a year now. So they bring me in when something happens on these Tornos machines. I like Tornos. They're not really that bad to work on. They're pretty straightforward. Fanic control, so nothing new there. It is like a 7 or 8 axis machine, so that there's a lot going on inside of these little machines, but they're really not that bad to work on. Tornos have made them pretty straightforward to work on, at least mechanically. Although I will say they pack a lot of shit inside these machines mechanically, and I'm kind of a big boy, so getting inside to work on this shit, dude, fucking sucks. Like at least for me because of my big ass. But other than that, I usually don't have any problems working on their machines. But so I'll probably go there Tuesday. Wednesday, I have a meeting with a new customer, potential new customer, I should say. They have a couple of EDM machines. Now, I don't know a whole lot about EDM machines, but I sure the fuck ain't gonna shy away from them. That's for damn sure. So I'm gonna go in and take a look at these EDM machines that they're running. I guess the tank seals are shot on them and need to be replaced, and the customer wants to go over some other PM stuff they want done on their machines. Whatever that entails, I don't know yet. That's what I'm going to find out. I think they have robots as well too, so I think they're probably going to want to ask me to PM robots, which no worries, we can handle that, not a problem. So that'll be Wednesday, and then after that, I'm on kind of like a small vacation for July 4th, and then coming back Monday, July 7th. Monday, July 7th, I start packing up to Nakamura lathes to be shipped out. Used Nakamura lathes. A used CNC company reached out to me and asked me if I could pack these two machines for, funny enough, one of my customers. So it all kind of worked out. So I'll be packing those Monday, probably Tuesday too. But I don't really see it going past Monday and Tuesday. Maybe a little bit into Wednesday, but easy peasy. They're pretty standard, straightforward. Twin turret, twin spindle lathes. So I did look at the machines. Some of the brackets are there. I was actually just there at that customer yesterday, which I failed to mention here because I got back from Minnesota Thursday, and then I had a customer that had a down machine Friday yesterday, and I wasn't gonna work because I just fucking been hitting it so hard for 4 weeks. I haven't really technically had a break, kind of. So I was just gonna take Friday to myself, but I had a lot of home shit to take care of. But yeah, they had a down machine. I was like, yeah, I'll be there. So they had a blown airline inside of a Daewoo. It's like it's almost like a brother orientated machine. They got an umbrella, carousel magazine, and tool changes just like a brother machine, a brother tapping center. But it's a Daewoo, so it's a little older. Fan control, nothing too crazy. But they blew an airline on the tool chain cylinder. Um, that is literally packed and so fucking tight. It took me a little bit just to get the airline off and the new one in, just because of how much shit was packed in there. But I no problems. And then when we did that and started it back up, boom, blew another one. Luckily, this one was like kind of more externally, so it wasn't so bad to replace. So replaced that one, started the machine back up, went through the motions, everything was fine. We didn't blow another airline, all was good. Customer was happy. Well, while I was there, they had another machine blow an airline. So I took care of that. That was on a MCO lathe, a little mini MCO lathe. It's actually a pretty cool machine. I don't really work on MCOs that much. I don't see any of them in my area. This is the only customer that has an MCO, and they're pretty cool. This one's a very small lathe, like a really steep, heavy incline slant bed lathe. With a little mini bar feeder. I think it's like a 4-foot bar feeder, or maybe 5 or 6 feet. It's not very big. That airline was a motherfucker to replace, man. Dude, again, my big ass trying to get in there to replace an airline. It fucking sucked, but we got it replaced nonetheless. So customers happy. We got them all replaced, and machines are back up. And they had an order that they were screaming to finish by Friday. And when that machine went down, yeah, customer was not too thrilled about it. but we were able to get in there and get it done and get it finished within a couple hours of being there, and they still had plenty of day to run more parts. So I don't know what their order was, but that's good. We like that. So um, yeah, that's the schedule. Everything's doing good. I'll keep you guys updated with the service contract with the customer and see what they're going to want to do with extending or even possibly increasing our presence inside of the facility. Now, I only get my contractor 2 days a week. I know I've said that a couple of times because he works a W-2 at maintenance at his actual job, and then I only get him 2 days a week. So if they want to extend presence in there, then that's cutting into my schedule. So now I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna want to do that, and even if I can do that. You got to be careful when doing shit like that, because when you lock yourself into a company like that, you could potentially start losing customers because you can't get to those customers because your obligation is with this one. Uh, we'll see what happens. If I can just keep them happy with 2 days a week, then that'll be my contractor's home for however long. They want them in there until they find a replacement. They could find a replacement in a week. But there's a lot of stuff that I'm bringing up in this meeting. I've already sat down with my contractor and talked about some of the things that he's seeing on these machines and what I should be bringing up in the meeting. And we have a list that we compiled together. So we're going to offer to build a kind of like a PM database, kind of like a tracker, pretty much for all their machines that he touches. Safety concerns, shit that needs to be replaced, everything that he's doing. We're going to go through a numbering system for each machine because we don't think there's a numbering system. We know that there's cell designations, but not individual machine designation numbers. So we're going to offer to build that for them. And then we're going to offer to build like an actual PM process for them. That way the new guy that comes in, he's just not thrown to the fucking wolves. Because he's gonna struggle to keep up, man. There's like over 50 fucking CNCs in this shop, plus robots, and plus manual machines, broaches, shit like that. I mean, they're gonna fucking struggle to keep up. So we are gonna try to offer to make things easier, and then maybe if they take a bite at that, then maybe we can solidify a yearly contract with them. Who knows? They might like what we're bringing to the table and what we're knocking out, and if we can solidify a yearly contract with them, we'll fucking do it. So I don't know, we'll see. Though that's what's going on. A lot going on in the brain, a lot of things I'm juggling right now, trying to figure out scheduling, how everything's gonna work. I did a walkthrough with a customer over a month ago. They were doing walkthroughs with a couple other local competitor companies, service companies, and I caught wind from an internal source that they are looking at giving me that service contract. So oh god, man, it's just another thing thrown onto my fucking plate. So I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when it gets there, but if that happens, now I have even more obligation at another customer to try to maintain their equipment as well too. But we'll see. I'm trying my best to keep up and balance everything and whatnot. My contractor and I are very close to bringing him on full time. We are getting there. He's going through some steps that he needs to take care of before we can do that, but he's making those steps, and I think that's going to be happening really fucking soon, probably within the next month or two. I think yeah, he's going to be coming on full time. So hopefully by then I have guaranteed work for him every fucking day, and I can just keep feeding him. That's all I'm worried about, him coming on, is being able to feed him and keep him busy and keep money cycling into his bank account. That's my biggest concern. So I'm out here trying to make those moves, trying to make it happen. So we'll see what happens. All right, motivation time. Now, I don't think this is really motivation, but I just kind of want to go through my experience. So June, I went into a pretty brutal cut. Um, for anybody that doesn't know, I started a weight loss journey slash gym kind of journey, like trying to better my body, shit like that. Back in September, I started September 29th, and fast forward to now, I never did a true cut until now. Uh, all of June was a cut month, so I took 4 weeks of a cut. Now, if you don't know what that means that I cut my calories to be in a caloric deficit, so I could focus on my body burning fat instead of glycogen, whatever, as fuel. Even your muscles, your body will muscle down to keep up energy stores. So it's kind of a science. You gotta kind of fuck with your body and figure out what works best for it so you don't muscle down. Lifting very heavy weights and keeping up on your protein relatively high, 150 grams, minimum 150 grams a day. I eat about 200 grams a day, if not more, even in a caloric deficit. It's very hard, very fucking hard. But the secret that I've learned is fasting. I started fasting at the 1st of June. I did about a 32-hour fast, wet fast. I just drank water, coffee, that was it. Nothing with calories in it. I didn't take any vitamins, nothing like that. Anything that would break my fast, I did 32 hours when I started. And then I did OMAD, which is 1 meal a day. And I did that throughout the rest of June. And I had amazing fucking results, man. And my strength didn't go down, which is good. If anything, my strength kind of went up just a little bit, which is really good, because usually when you're in a caloric deficit, you're going to lose some strength. But that's not the idea. We're not trying to build muscle in a caloric deficit. In fasting, we're trying to cut fat. We're trying to get fat off of our body. So nutrition. Now, this is what I want to talk about with nutrition. I'm going to just give you what I did and what worked for me. Now, I don't have a gallbladder, so my body digests very slow, which fucking sucks. So I'm not able to eat certain things without it hitting my body hard. Now, what I mean by that, like, I can eat something that's like really high fatty, and that fat will take a long time to digest in my stomach, and it'll sit heavy in my stomach for a while, compared to before when I did have a gallbladder, because that's what your gallbladder does. It basically is a fucking sack that holds your digestive enzymes that is produced by your liver. And when you don't have a gallbladder releases enzymes like a wave all at once. When you don't have a gallbladder, you then get a trickle from your liver. So your digestion slows down considerably because your liver has to trickle those digestive enzymes to break down fat, specifically fat. So my digestion is fucked, and it's been fucked, and it's been why I've struggled with weight gain, fluctuation in weight gains, weight loss, shit like that. I will say weight gain is very easy for me, but weight loss is very easy for me too, because I've kind of figured out what works for my body, and fasting and OMAD works great for my body. If I want to cut fat, like, it fucking does great. And what I've noticed on this cut is, I think it's my genetics mainly. The fact that I was able to increase strength by just a little bit in a caloric deficit, like a brutal caloric deficit, like 2,000 calories a day, 2,200 a day, when I should be eating like 3,500 a day to lose weight. That's even a caloric deficit if you do the math for my weight. So I was in a even more brutal. and then busting my ass and eating one meal a day, and that was based around my workout. So my nutrition was this is exactly what I did every fucking day. Woke up, black coffee, water. That's it. I worked 8 hours, did not eat. I worked fucking hard, sweat my balls off, and I stayed up on my water. And then when it came time that work was done and I had to go into the gym, I ate my first meal, kind of, which was a banana and Greek yogurt. And then I would sit and wait for that to kind of digest, about 45 minutes to an hour, which sucks because I hate waiting and I love going to the fucking gym. So once my body was able to start processing that into energy, then I was, because otherwise you'll get lightheaded in the gym and then you can't do your workout and you can't push it as hard. So because your body has no fucking energy. And when you push it too hard, it'll tell you, yo, you're fucking pushing me too hard. It'll let you know. I've experienced this several times within my weight loss journey. Not just this time, but when I did a weight loss journey like 5 years ago, it was the same thing. So I kind of figured that out. One banana, about half a cup, 3/4 cups, 1 cup. I didn't really measure the Greek yogurt. I just ate what I thought I was logical for protein. I just wanted a little bit of protein in my system. Banana is the carbs, right? So after that, after I worked out, during my workout, I would drink my EAAs, my essential amino acids, during my workout, and then at the end of my workout, I grilled 2 New York strip steaks, roughly 10 ounce, 12 ounces per steak. Yes, 2. Grilled 2 of those, and then I would eat 2 pears, and then I got some raspberries or something like that, but I didn't go outside of that realm. It was fruit across the board. I got a little constipated, not TMI, but I got a little constipated, so you got to be careful with that. You got to know your body. Some people might need more fiber, some might not need that much fiber. But when you're drinking protein and you're on a high protein diet, that is one thing you have to really take care of, is your fiber intake. Otherwise, you're going to be one constipated motherfucker and you're going to have some bad stomach aches. Anyways, I would eat my protein first, so I'd eat the 2 steaks first. I would wait just a little bit, maybe like 20 minutes, and then I would eat my pears or my berries. And then maybe I would eat like a couple scoops of fucking Greek yogurt, maybe, depending on how my stomach felt. And then I would wait about an hour or 2, and then I would drink 40 grams of protein and 10 grams of creatine. That was it. That was all I was eating in a day, and I did that for essentially like my first 2 weeks of cutting was not that, but my last 2 weeks of cutting, that was my regimen every day. Man, I had fucking great results, dude. I mean, I don't know how much weight I lost because I don't care to step on a scale. I don't really care about that. But the way I look and my pants fitting and my clothes fitting, oh yeah, I definitely cut some fucking fat. I still have a long ways to go. I still think I'd like to lose, if I was to guess, 20 pounds. I think I can lose another 20 pounds and I'll be right there. And then I would just focus on bulking from there, and then just doing wave cutting, 2 weeks cut, 4 weeks cut, bulk for 8 weeks, just kind of ride that wave. A lot of guys wave it like that. Sometimes it's not good for your body to wave it like that because it can't get used to what it's doing, and then boom, you fucking change it, and then it's just like, oh God, what are we doing? And then your body kind of freaks out and then just holds on to the fat and you don't burn it, which could happen. It's very slim. Once you figure your body out, it's different for everybody. But yeah, so nutrition, whole foods, man. Whole foods, fruit, vegetables, meat. That's it. I did have some eggs here and there. I bought a jar of pickled eggs, which ended up having a lot of fucking sodium in it. Not that I shy away from sodium, because I definitely don't. A lot of people don't eat enough sodium, salt, aka. But these had 1,000 milligrams of sodium per egg. So I was like, holy fuck. Plus, I'm putting like seasoning and salt on my steaks and shit. So, I mean, I'm getting a lot of fucking sodium. But I didn't eat too many eggs per day. If I was lucky, I ate 2 eggs, which is 2,000 milligrams of sodium. It's just a lot. But I didn't have no way to cook eggs at the time, so it is what it is. I did buy like a little grill, and I grilled my own steaks in the fucking parking lot of the hotel every night, man. Yeah, I bought 2 steaks, and that's what I ate. And this grill is fucking badass, man. Cooked my steaks great. I mean, you cook anything on this little grill. It takes a little LP gas, the little green tanks on it, man. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Best investment I ever made. Now the customers that I go to that are out in the fucking middle of nowhere and you can't find good food, the food's like the equivalent of dog food, and I don't want to eat that shit. So, most grocery stores have relatively decent whole foods, regardless of where you're at. So, yeah. So nutrition, if you're gonna cut, figure it out. I mean, like I said, everybody's body is different. My genetics are, I have some crazy genetics from what I'm being told from my PT and from what I'm experienced. Building muscle and getting stronger during a cut is very rare. That usually doesn't happen. So the only thing I can think of is fucking genetics has the play in that. So, all right. I'm gonna stop fucking talking because I sit here and talk all day about this shit. I hope it helps somebody out there, man. I really do. I know maybe most of you don't really care to hear it, but maybe there's just somebody out there that's on the same journey as me, man. Fucking tune in, because I'm always talking about my journey. And if I can help anybody improve their journey, or get some motivation to actually start the fucking journey, hell yeah, dude. I'm gonna talk about it. Alright, guys, that's it. My name's Tayler Goodyear, and I own TG CNC Service out of Wisconsin, and I will probably see you guys in a week. Yeah, I'm not leaving anywhere out of town anytime soon that I know of. That could change, fucking heartbeat. But I'll tune in a week and give you guys an update. We'll see you guys.